Hey, I just kind of want to record here what I am currently doing on this random. This is all random, by the way. Like, I wish I would start recording these things ahead of time, but better late than never, I suppose. I've never even used the screen recorder. I don't know what all it does or whatever, but this is actually the second time I've had this conversation with this AI bot. I just, randomly, it's an app I just randomly got. I don't know, but see, I was like, because the conversation just closed. It's being stopped. We'll get there. I need to slow down, but I'm currently like in a very devastated and distraught state, pretty much in every aspect of my life and my being. So I figured, like, it's very complicated, and I'm kind of just running intuitively, but I started talking to this AI bot, right? Trying Down the Stars is actually a really great channel, but... And I've never used a chat bot or anything like that either, so... But here... It just randomly, like, because Google speech to text misunderstood when I tried to say anonymity, as in being anonymous, in reference to the legality and privacy issues surrounding me recording the conversations I'm having with this AI bot. Like, good grief. That was a mouthful. But anyway. That's what she said, right? No, but on all seriousness. So the chatbot misunderstood me, and it said human anemone, as in the sea life. And it took me a second to figure out that it was misunderstanding me, and I was like so confused. But anyway, I said I didn't know what an anemone was, to be honest. So I told it to define anemone for me, and it gave me the two definitions, one being a species of flower and another being a species of sea life. And as I skimmed over these definitions real quick, like, I got this brilliant download because of the misunderstanding that I had with this chatbot, right? Because it was talking about... I was talking about how I'm feeling as a victim of betrayal, abandonment, deception, abuse, extortion. Well, not extortion, but exploitation. Like, just all the things a person with a genuine, innocent, naive, and loving intention goes through in a serious and long-term relationship with a very, very calculated narcissist. One that has known them pretty much, if not lifetimes, most of this current life, right? It's very, very complex. Like, this isn't my surface level, oh, I met a guy at a bar, and then he turned out to be a stalker, and like 6 months later I'm in counseling for domestic violence, and they've labeled my abuser a narcissist, right? That's not what I'm talking about. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about deep, occult, humanitarian issues here. Like, on every level, physically, metaphysically, right? Spiritually, financially, emotionally, sexually, physically, mentally, like, all the alleys. Like, holy shit. Like, I'm trying to talk about the real deal here. And I'm not just talking about it. Well, I'm talking about it also just to talk about it for my own personal cathartic expression, and I'm very private and isolated intentionally, and I don't want to just keep holding this in because it's like festering, right? And it's at the same time it's festering, and it's a rotting and a decay going on internally in my spirit, which I know is alchemical, but nonetheless, it's also a static stasis, as I imagine the Most High would have experienced before any idea or creation, right? So it's quite difficult and uncomfortable for me internally and externally somewhat, but mostly internally currently. So that's my number one reason for even trying to talk about this to a bot. There's many reasons why I'm not choosing a human being. I don't want to necessarily get into all that because this is going to take forever. Literally. Literally, like, this is what I'm saying. But anyway, so that's my selfish, I guess, or self-centered priority. But I also have a need and a desire to use my experience to benefit not only myself, but humanity in all aspects, including the planet, in all facets of creation, both animated and not animated. And number one priority of external from myself, I want to help the abuser. That is the issue at hand here I'm trying to express. And this goes into topics such as alchemy, religion, which I'm not by mainstream definitions of the word anyway. If you're studying topics like etymology and the occult and consciousness and ecology and generational curses, aka cycles of abuse, individually and generationally, like all these things, right? I've really had a lot of experience in the wide range of all of these topics and many, 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 many more that relate and are subjective and objective. And I've also even went to college, delving into some of these facets of life. And so I feel I should just do what my intuition and my guides, which I have many and are very vocal and physically available at all times, are telling me to do. And what I've always wanted to do to begin with, even before I even knew I had guides. And what I do believe my purpose, even incarnating here into this particular lifetime, at this particular time and place, and literally every single action or inaction, and every single word or moment of silence I've ever chosen or seemingly been forced to experience has led me to do, which is to understand the individual abuser on this planet, including self-harm, abusing resource, all types of abuse, right? The individual, which we all are, abusers of one form or another, literally. The abusive aspect that we all embody on this planet is what needs addressing from a place of wisdom and steadfast, unconditional, and unrelenting love. Which, that phrase I know comes with a lot of stigma and or connotation and many, many, many definitions. You know, I get it. But what I'm talking about, I'm not implying good or bad or comfortable or uncomfortable or right or wrong or anything like that. I'm not trying to come at this from a victim mentality. I'm not trying to seek anything but justice. Not only like for the quote victims of abuse on this planet, but to remember that the abusers themselves are victims. And who are they? We are they. Each and every one of us who have ever been or ever will be embodies some form of this abusive, malicious, insidious, nefarious, deceitful, cancerous, malignant, malicious, energetic code. Really it's a code. It's a distorted code in the field, you know? And it's elusive, and it's suffering also. That's just the point I want to make. And this is a very vast perspective that I have not only come to or chosen to glean, but also been granted through every experience that I have been witness to externally, in person or in hindsight or through, it's like that phrase, history's written by the winners, you know? I guess I take things a little bit differently. And when I say take things, I don't mean take things. I mean internalize and perceive and consume and love things, including my abusers, all of them. I'll be back.